Merhabalar.
Hello,
Hi Akash.
hello.
So I will start with a brief introduction in Turkish and then we will all continue English.
Yeah,
Merhaba
sure.
arkadaşlar. Yeah. Ben Selin. Startup projesiyle ilk ona girdik. Geçen yıl Solution Challenge'da. Ee, Genel olarak açlığa odaklandık. Flutter kullandık. Firebase kullandık. Google Cloud Search kullandık. Ee, Böyle diyeyim, küçük bir intro vereyim. Şimdi Akash'a bırakayım sizi. Akash, hi, you can intro yourself in
Uh,
English and then
yeah.
we can continue.
Hello, guys. Myself Akash. Really great briefing by the previous speaker, though I cannot pronounce her name correctly. Still, my name is Akash. I am DSC lead back at my university in India, and I'm a Microsoft student ambassador also. And I love taking part in hackathons. Recently, I was the regional winner for the NASA Space Apps Hackathon. I think you might be familiar with that. So we here will give you a little more briefing or tips, tricks on how to, back your position at the top in the solution challenge. So, Salim, you can start if you want.
Okay, sure. First, I will talk about how we teamed up and then maybe a little bit introduction about what solution challenge and how you should prepare your project. I'm planning to explain what solution challenges in a like like a dialogue way in a conversation with Akash, how we made our project. So Akash and I met at LinkedIn, and we teamed up. And from the beginning of the creation of solution, we focused on we discussed about which goals we can focus, and then we come up with different ideas, and we try to create a UI first. Like I remember we drew some UI on paper, so that's how we started, I guess. And then, for example, I can continue with what solution challenges. It's a annual challenge from Google developers, which you create a solution for the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. You can either address one or more of them using at least one Google technology. You have to create a solution. Um, so, Akash, maybe you can continue from there.
Yeah. So as Salim told you, like in we met like from LinkedIn, and it's really in the kickoff event. Like if you do not find a team member still, there is an option in the kickoff event from where you can team up with other people. And in the solution challenge itself, you have 17 sustainable goals straight from United Nations that you have to build your project on. Actually, they are themes, so it's not strict that you have to just present your solution on one specific goal. You can target as many goals as you want. Like, for example, in our project, we were targeting mainly the hunger problem, but in the development phase, we found that our application just also targets like education, poverty, and so many more goals. So feel free to add more of them. And I would suggest one thing like for the beginners, for those of you who are in your freshman year or your sophomore, uh, it's really not that tough to start, because if you think, yeah, okay, I know Android, I don't know too much about that, or I've just started learning Flutter, or I have no idea how to go with the TensorFlow, build my machine learning model and all that. Google Solution Challenge, such a big competition. How will I gain my position there? Actually, it's really not that hard. You have to just keep on trying things. Start with whatever you know. Keep in mind that whatever you are building is just not limited to your theme. Just keep in mind that you are building something that could revolutionize something in the world. It could be an phenomenal idea, because solution challenge is not just a competition which focuses just on what kind of technology you work on, but also on the impact you create.
Yes,
So
I
Celine, if you
completely
want.
agree. Especially to the part that, uh, for example, you want to create your solution, and you think you are not good enough to use a specific technology. For example, you think you're not good enough in Flutter. That's completely fine. I was not good enough at Flutter either. But throughout the journey in Solution Challenge, I learned lots of things, and I also asked Akash, and I also uh, searched for documentation and tutorial videos. I remember there was official Flutter tutorials on YouTube and in the documentation as well. They were really helpful. I suggest you to look at those as well. Maybe it's for Google Cloud or any other technology. Uh, just start somewhere.
Yep, and there's one more thing like most of you focus on for like when the building your team phase, you're like, okay, I do not have a UI designer or UX designer. How would I build my designs? I do not have this particular member which could help me out. Like when we were building a project, we were really very tensed about where we will get our designer who will design our UIs, or what will we how will we do the backend part. We know so little about that. We know only about cloud thing. So it's not like that. You have to just keep on building. You have to keep on learning things, because solution challenge is not just how impactful you are. It's also about how much you can gain from it. Like, and it's a best shot to learn good things. Like if you don't know cloud, it's the best time to learn it, implement it in your projects, in your applications. And when we were also building, we had no designer. So what we did was we were talking about UIs on pen and paper, and then we are discussing on Meet, because it was really very difficult for us to meet physically and discuss our ideas on one particular location. So Meet was a great platform. We sent our UIs, which we sketched out on pen and paper. Then we discussed some important points, and some reviews she used to give. I used to jot down what points we can improve, and we started building from the first second week and keep on brainstorming. So because the time duration is less, so please focus that you do not get stuck at the last time, because you have to prepare one video which demonstrates your project. Also, you have to fix some issues that you are also facing, because if you submit an incomplete solution, you do not have good chance to be selected. So keep on building your UIs, keep on building your designs also, and at the same time take your meetings, discuss what more things you can add. And especially it will really help if you can meanwhile show your friends, your family, whatever you are building, maybe, and take reviews from whoever you can find in your community. And I think that would really help.
Yes, I definitely agree, especially the part that I think you need to finish your project way before than the submission ending, because as Akash mentioned, you will create your video, and you will, answer all those submission questions. So maybe there are some bugs you need to solve before submitting your project. So try to finish your project, or at least try to complete as much as possible for the ending, so that you can focus on other areas like creating your video, etc. And I also want to share my screen and mention a little bit about the Solution Challenge FAQs. Uh, I know that Beza also mentioned about them, but I just want to go over a quick, brief explanation about them. So, Akash and I, when we were creating our project, I remember, like, when we were near to the deadline, we looked at these questions and tried to answer as much as possible. So I suggest you to do the same as well. When you're near to the submission, you think you're completed, but there's still time, go over with these questions with your team and try to answer all of these questions as much as possible and as much detailed as possible. They will be really helpful for becoming top top 10, maybe top 50, or so this is one thing. And maybe I can show you our project's GitHub page. This is our project's GitHub page, Starwell, and this is our logo. For example, I didn't have any logo creation or graphic design experience before, but no matter what, I just created it and it works fine. So you might think like this as well. Like, you think you're not good enough in Flutter or UI, that's completely fine. Just try to do it, okay? So I just tried to do it, and that's the logo. And this is also our demo video. I can share it, and I will then. Do you want to add something, Akash? Maybe.
Yeah, actually, there were two, 3 points like where we were stuck was when we were starting, we didn't know what logo should we present on because when you are building an application, a landing page where you are describe which catches the eye about what the project really is about. So I guess a solution challenge you need to also focus on how much you can market your product because if you cannot show what you are building in a proper way, then it's not that quite effective to also the judging panel, which is judging your project, and also to the community because if you do not able to identify the problem, you are not able to tell how your product can be used to solve such a thing, then I mean it's not worth your time now because you are wasting your time and also not getting what you wanted to. And second thing is for the answers part, which is really important when you are writing your answers because when once you have built your project, you have to write your answers about what your solution does, what technologies, or there can be many more questions like 5 6 questions. So take time to write those questions because they review it very carefully, and question and a video is the initial part where on which you will be selected, and the more impactful it will be, the better your chances will be because if you are just writing your answers in in a very casual way and you have built a good product, then you would not be got selected because you have to keep everything balanced. And solution challenge is not just about like you have built the best product and you're not able to market it or not able to show how it works, then your chances of not getting selected is much higher. And one more thing is like last year when we were building the solution, we go through like about literally every past project at least for the past year. So it will be really great if you could go through all the projects, not all, if also like half of the projects on the theme you are working on. Like if you are selecting a theme, like I will work on education, then go through every project related to education, see what they have built because it's not like you will get some benefit, you will get the little idea about how they did something creative and what I could progress on it. Or maybe it's not, you have to just keep on adding things and features to existing products, and then also you can get a chance to be in the top positions. So go through every project. If you think you have something better, if you think you can improve on some existing project, it's okay, you take some of the ideas of previous projects. It's not a harm because you are actually improving what's actually there. And we live today in a world where we are actually improving on existing things, so it will be really great if you could just take a look at them and keep furnishing your answers. And yeah, put some at least 5 to 10 days at the last, when I guess March 17 is the submission time. So at least 1 to 2 weeks will be really good if you can keep it for fixing your issues and working on your video part. So yeah, that I would definitely suggest because I we actually went on that procedure only. We just completed our project at least 2 weeks before the deadline, and you will not believe it was really good that we completed it at least 2 weeks, because her video part took at least like 10 days, and then it was able to complete. So you don't know what is left and what you have to work on. Yep.
Yeah, I especially want to emphasize one thing. What you say about the solutions was I completely agree, especially the marketing part. Just as Akash mentioned, no matter how good project you do, you have to market it properly so that it can be seen the by the right audience. So, I just want to add something that try to build your video as detailed and as brief as possible. Try to include all of the features and how you solve the specific problems in how and how you solve it. Try to add as much as detail possible, and yeah, that's it, I guess. And also try to add details like how you run the app, for example, even just very simple things. You try to add all of these details to your GitHub repository, add screenshots, and also Akash mentioned, look at all these previous year's projects, top projects, look at them, and you'll be fine. Yeah, thank you so
Yeah,
much.
I guess the documentation part is really important, because I guess there is some point also for that. When last year I was looking for it, you have to clearly describe your project in a really better way, and you need to mention how, like, because you need to highlight how you can run the application or whatever you are building, a website or hardware product you are building. So for hardware, I think it might be just a video will do fine. But for if you are building a website or an application, just highlight in the document how to run it clearly, because if there is something missing in the steps, then they will not be able to reproduce the result they want. So just focus some small part also on the documentation, though it's not very major thing. The major thing is your project only. And yep, and yeah, if you have any more doubts, I would really happy to help you out through any medium like LinkedIn or whatever. Or you can ask your GDSC community also, and I think they will be able to help you out in the best possible way, and provide you any resources you need. And yep, that's it from my side.
Yes, I agree. And if you have any questions, we can answer them. Herhangi bir sorunuz varsa, if you have any questions. Other than that, thank you so much for attending the summit. It was very good.